Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a long time since I posted a video, but I've been busy. I always say that, but I've been busy. Anyways, today I'm gonna be telling a little story while I do my makeup, and I hope you enjoy. Anyways, as you can see, I already did my brows, guys. I always take the longest doing my brows, so they're done, out of the way. And I'm gonna do easy makeup while I try to tell a story. As you can see by the title of the video, it's gonna be wait, what's the title of the video? Okay, so the story is about that one time that I went out with my boss and he freaking threatened me and my family. And he wanted to kill us apparently. And so yeah, I just wanted to share this story with you guys. I don't know. I'm nervous. I might get killed after I post it. Just kidding. Maybe. I don't know. If this is a real story that actually happened. I don't lie about these things, okay? So I'm gonna start with my makeup while I tell the story. I'm shy. Okay, it's been a long time. Whatever. Okay, so this story began. What the fuck? Anyways, a few months ago, maybe like October, November, yeah, somewhere around there. So I started working at this place, and I I don't know how to tell stories anymore. Where should I start? Well, yeah, I started working at this place, and I was doing alright. I had no experience whatsoever. When I started working at this place, I was training and doing my thing, and then I saw this guy and I thought he was like really cute, and at that time I didn't know that he was like one of the bosses, because there was two or probably more, I don't know. Anyways, I didn't know he was one of the bosses back then, but I guess he was. And I just thought he was like really cute and whatever, and I told I asked someone who he was, and they just told me he was like the cook of the place, but they didn't tell me that he was one of the bosses. Anyways, I was doing my thing, and I don't think I talked to him that night, but the next night that I worked, I was a little drunk, and I talked to I wasn't drunk, but I was a little bit tipsy, and I went up to him and I started talking to him and just like flirting with him, and I got his number. And then that night, one of the customers at this place invited me to an after party or something, and they invited him too. So him and I decided to go, like my boss and I decided to go. Like at this time now, I already knew he was my boss, but yeah, he was cool. And yeah, we went to the place, to the after party, but it was kind of boring, so we left, and he just took me home like nothing happened. Then we talked for like maybe like 2 hours or something. And yeah, after the party, I asked him to drop me off at home, and he did. Like, we didn't kiss or anything, we just hugged, and then I went into my house. The next day at work, everything was cool. Some shit, like a lot of drama started happening at work. There was like some fights and stuff. And so we all decided to go our own ways because it was too much drama. And one of my coworkers and I decided to go to eat to this like restaurant in our city that's open like till late, super late, or like it's open 24 hours. And because my coworker, she was freaking out and stuff because like too much drama at work, and she decided to call her friend. I didn't know any of these people that she knew, so she asked me if it was okay, and I was like, yeah, it's cool, I don't care. And when we get to that restaurant, there's two guys waiting for us, and I didn't know any of these guys. Anyways, they were cool and all that shit. We went, we ate, we talked and stuff, and then after we were leaving, and they asked us if we wanted to hang out with them. My cousin asked me, and at first I didn't really want to go, but my cousin was like still freaking out. Okay, you know what? I fucked up this story. Anyways, my co-worker was my cousin. I used to work with my cousin. She was the one who got me this job. I don't know, whatever. Anyways, my cousin. That's my co-worker, the one that I went to that restaurant with, the one that called her friend because she was freaking out. Anyways, let's go back to the story. I pretend that I didn't just fucked up this story. Anyways, I didn't want to go. I didn't really want to go to with these guys because I liked that guy, my boss. I liked him. Okay, I thought I did okay because I thought he was really cute and whatever. Anyways, I'm getting kind of nervous because I've never told this story to anyone. Oh, that's better. I need water because tea. Okay, so I didn't really want to go with these guys because I like my boss back then. I liked him, and me and him were like hanging out a little, like nothing had happened between him and I, but I didn't want to go. Like, I'm a loyal girl, so just kidding. Yeah, but I didn't want to go. But it seemed like my cousin really wanted to go, so I was like, yeah, sure, it's fine, we can go for a bit. So we went with these guys. They were fine, they were good, nothing wrong with these two. We went to an apartment. It was just like the four of us, and we were drinking, talking. Then people did what they needed to do, and I was just sitting there chilling. I didn't really want to do what other people were doing, because you know what, I was a good girl back then. I didn't want to do anything, but we were drinking, and the alcohol got to me, okay? And this guy, he was like, let's go to the room or whatever, and I was like, no, I don't really want to. And he's like, come on, let's go. And then I didn't want to, so he was like, here, have a drink. So he offered me another drink, and I was like, I didn't want to drink, but like, he wanted to drink, he was drinking, and I was like, okay, whatever, I'll drink, I'll have a little fun, you know, whatever. Okay, we're done. We did what we need to do, and then we were done. Next day, I didn't have to work, and so I did have to work. Or did I? No, I didn't have to work, so nothing happened. But my boss texted me the next day, and he's like, I'm at work, do you want me to pick you up so we can chill at work? Because he was the boss, he didn't really do much around. And I was like, yeah, sure. So he picked me up, and then we went to the workplace. And I just want to say, like, my boss, and like between him and I, nothing had ever happened yet. And we weren't dating or anything, we were just like hanging out, okay? We had like gone out a couple times, but nothing had ever happened between him and I. So we were chilling at the workplace, and one of the guys that we had hang out before, that night before, showed up at work. This was the guy that my cousin had called, and he showed up there, and then he went up to my boss, and he was like, hey, what's up, how are you? And I didn't know they were friends, like best friends or whatever. I didn't know this shit. and they were talking because they're from a different country. They speak the same language. I had no idea what they were saying. And I think my cousin was working that night, so I went and started talking to him because my boss was talking to that other guy. And so while they were talking, they kept staring at me, and I didn't know what was happening, but I had a feeling that that guy was gonna tell my boss, that guy that I liked, that what had happened that night before. So I was right. He told that I slept with his friend, and I didn't know that my boss, that guy that I liked, was like super close friends with these two other guys that me and my cousin had hanged out the night before. And also, my cousin didn't tell me anything. Thanks a lot. She knew that they were like friends. All of them were friends, and she didn't tell me anything. But anyways, I didn't think it was a big deal because my boss and I, we just like barely started talking, and nothing had ever happened between me and him. So I didn't think it was a big deal. And also, I wasn't planning on seeing those two other guys ever again because I wasn't interested in any of them. And so that's why I didn't think it was a big deal, because I wasn't planning on seeing them again, which is like something that happened that night, and I didn't think it would happen ever again because I didn't want it to happen again. I guess I was wrong because these two people, I guess they were customers to that place that I used to work at, and I didn't know that shit. I didn't know this. And anyways, after I was done talking to my cousin, he called me, my boss, and then he's like, I want to talk to you. And I was like, yeah, okay, we can talk. What's up? And then he was like, you want to tell me something? And I was like, nope, not really. And he's like, and I'm like, what do you mean? And then he's like, is there anything you want to tell me? And I was like, about what? And he's like, what did you do last night? And I was like, oh, so you know. And he was like, yep, I know. And I was like, did that guy just tell you that? And then he's like, do you want to tell me? And I was like, yeah, well, if you know, you know. I wasn't trying to hide anything. I wasn't just gonna go and tell him what I was doing the night before, because me and him were just like started to text and stuff and like hang out, and like nothing serious was happening between me and him. So I didn't think it was important for me to tell him that, hey, I just had sex with this person. So, you know, you get me. Anyways, he was salty about it, and he was like, why would you do that? I mean, you know, we're friends and whatever. And I was like, listen, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't know you guys were friends, but at the same time, I wasn't planning on seeing him again and like be with my boss and this other dude, because that's not what I wanted. And so that's when the tea starts. Anyways, he was like mad that I slept with this guy, but at the same time, he was like, you know, you're different, because I thought that you were gonna lie about it and you were gonna try to hide it and deny it, but you didn't. And I was like, yeah, because I wasn't trying to hide it. It's just like, I'm not gonna tell you every time I have sex with someone. He's like, okay, it's understandable, like, I get it. Oh my god, what's that sound? I'm scared. Anyways, after that, a lot of drama between me and him started happening, because he would always bring this shit up, even though I said to him, like, I was sorry, I didn't know they were friends. If I knew, I wouldn't have done it. And if me and him were like actually dating, I wouldn't have done it either. But you know, I was still single. Yes, I was talking to him, but I was still single. And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, like, I'm sorry, like, I didn't know that they were friends. And then he's like, okay, it's okay, like, it's okay. He just said it's okay. Anyways, we were fine after we talked about it, but he would always bring it up. He was like, you know, always bringing that shit up. And then Like, I was a little bit scared because he was friends with that other guy, and so does that look good? I don't think so. That looks like shit. Anyways, he was friends with that other guy, and then he would always like bring that up, and he would be like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna do this and that to him." And then after, he would be like, "No, I'm just kidding. And we're friends. I would never do that to him, but I would hurt you." And then he would like try to joke around it, but like it pissed me off sometimes, and it made me mad. So like he would like make me mad when he would like do that shit, because I didn't like that. And like I said, I was sorry and I didn't do it again, and I never talked to that guy again. But like at the same time, I did feel sorry for the other guy because I didn't know they were friends, like I said. And apparently he was scared to show up to the workplace because he was one of the customers, like I said, and then he was scared of my boss, that he was gonna hurt him or something. So I told my boss that I wanted to talk to him and apologize for what had happened, and I just wanted to say that to him, and he was like, "Yeah, it's fine if you go and talk to him." So this one night he showed up to the bar, the workplace. That's where I worked. Oh my god, I fucked up this story so bad. Anyways, I went and talked to him, told him I was sorry, and my boss got mad at me. He was like, "I don't want you to go talk to him." And I was like, "I'm gonna do it because I already told you I'm gonna do it." But he didn't want me to go and talk to him after he got to the bar. And I was like, "You know what? It doesn't matter. I'm gonna do it anyways." And then he got mad, and then I just went to talk to him, apologize, and then I went back to doing my job. Everything was fine that night. For the next few days, he kept doing the same thing. He kept bringing that shit up, and it was annoying. And I told him, like, you need to stop with that shit because I'm not talking to this guy. I'm not doing anything. So stop that shit right now. Look at how bad that shit is. Oh my god. Okay, so he kept doing that and being annoying about it. He would always like talk about this guy, and then I was like, "Okay, you need to stop that because I don't like that shit. Like, it happened, like it was a one time thing. Let it go, or let's stop this thing." Cause we were like getting closer every day. So I was like, "Okay, either you let it go or we stop talking because I don't like it, and you said you forgive me, but it doesn't seem like you do. So like, what's going on?" So he started like making issues, and I gotta say this, right before we started talking, he had on like a crazy girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, whatever. And then this one night he was like, "You know what, let's stop talking. I don't even like you. Let's just like do our jobs and that's it." I don't He this is what exactly what he said to me. He told me he didn't like me, that he was gonna go back to his girlfriend, and I was like, "Okay, let's do that then." I was like, "Okay, I get it. You don't like me, go back to your girlfriend then." I was like a little bit salty, low-key hurt. Anyways, I was like, "Yeah, fine, whatever. Just go back to your girlfriend." And then when I said that, he was just like staring at me like, "Fine, let's do that." 30 minutes later, he took me to the back and he was like, "I was just kidding. I didn't mean that. I do like you. I like you a lot. So like, whatever I said before, it was just so you could focus on work and whatever." And I was like, and I got mad, and And I just like, I was like, what the fuck? So I left that place, and I was done work. I didn't want to talk to him for the rest of the night. So I went home. Next day, um, he picked me up from my, no, I went to eat to that place with one of my cousins, and then we were talking fine. But that night I had to work, and I was mad at him. Yeah, I was mad at him because of that shit that had happened before. And yeah, I was mad, and I didn't want to talk to him. Everything was like, everything that he said or did like annoyed me, and I didn't want to talk to him. And then he took me to the back, and he was like, what's wrong? And I was like, what do you mean what's wrong? The night before you told me that you didn't like me, that whatever. And he's like, I explained this to you, I just said that so you could focus on work and whatever. And I was like, you could have just told me to focus on work and not do that shit, because that's fucking immature. Anyways, he was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. And I was like ignoring him that whole night. So that whole night he got mad at me, and then he started being like super fucking rude. And because I wouldn't talk to him, he was like so upset because I wouldn't talk to him. And I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna ignore this bitch. But like, he was like just being like so fucking rude. And anyways, that night was done, and because I was so upset, I told him that I was gonna quit. But I wasn't, because I wasn't. I just told him I was gonna quit, and then he was like, okay, then you're done, bye. And then he walked away because like he was like so mad at me, I guess. Look at how bad this shit looks. And I was like, yeah, cool, we're done. And then he's like, okay, good luck, some bullshit. The next day I show up to work, and then he looked at me and he's like, being all fucking rude and shit. I finished work early, and then I was waiting for my other boss to come and pay me because he hadn't paid me. And so while I was waiting, I ordered a few drinks, and I ordered food, and I was waiting for my other boss to show up and pay me, but he was taking his time. And my boss that was like at the bar, he was mad at me, like the guy that I was dating, or not dating, the guy that I went out with. You know what, this story is fucked up because I don't know if you guys are gonna understand any of what I'm saying, because I didn't say any names. I don't want to give people names. I'm just saying my boss number one is the one that I dated, and boss number two is the other boss, okay? Anyways, boss number one was at the bar with his ex-girlfriend, and I think he was like trying to like make me jealous, but like I didn't care. I was like, whatever, we're done. Okay, we're done. And anyways, he got mad because I was drinking too much, and apparently I was drunk, but I wasn't drunk because I wasn't drinking too much, because I didn't want to drink too much. I was just waiting for the other boss to show up so he could pay me. Anyways, he got mad because I was drinking and eating, and he's like, well, why is she ordering so much? Whatever. My tab was like $35, honestly. 30 or like $40, I don't even know. And then he was like salty about it. And anyways, he was the one who was actually drunk, and he started making problems for everyone. And boss number two showed up and took him away. And my cousin was working that night, and she was like, you know what, you need to go because the bosses are drunk and a lot of problems are gonna happen, so you're gonna have to leave before they get here, otherwise I don't know what's gonna happen. And I was like, nah, I'm sure it's gonna be fine. She's like, no, you gotta go, leave. I don't want anything to happen to you. And I was like, nah, bro, nothing's gonna happen. Chill. And as I was saying that, he showed up and he was like freaking mad as hell. And yeah, he started yelling at me. He was like, you can't work here anymore. And then he just started talking shit about me and my family. Anyways, I didn't stay when he was yelling because my cousin was too scared, and I left. But my cousin told me what he said. He was like threatening our whole family, me. He was like saying that he wanted to kill me. He was gonna kill me. And my cousin gave me her car to drive, and then I was going home. I lived like 10 minutes away from the bar, and he knew where I lived. And my cousin was like, he just left the bar, don't go home because I think he's gonna go to your place and he might do something to you. And I was like, fuck. And I was just like getting home, and so I started driving somewhere else. And anyways, he threatened to kill my family because he knew where I lived and where my cousin lived. So that night we didn't go home because we didn't want anything to happen, okay? So we didn't go home. We just stayed out of the house for like the longest time ever. And yeah, I didn't go back to that place anymore for like 2 weeks or something. Then finally I showed up there again, and then because I wasn't allowed to go back to the bar because of this guy. And then yeah, so I wasn't allowed to go back there. I didn't go for like a week or maybe even longer, I don't know. And then finally I went back, and then boss number one was there, and then he was like, I was like ready for anything that would happen there, but nothing happened. He was like laughing, and then he was like, hey, I just wanted to say sorry for my behavior and whatever. I was drunk that night and I was a little bit upset, but I'm sorry for anything that I said that hurted you. Because he did say a lot of things that were super rude. Like when me and him first started talking, I told him a lot of things that were like really sensible about me. And then at that moment he was like, yeah, that's understandable and whatever. And then after, when that night happened, he started like saying all these things that was like super rude. He was saying that I was a hoe, that I was just with him because of his money. And I was like, bro, you never gave me money. Where the fuck is all the money if I was just with you for your money? Like I never got anything from him either. So anyways, he was just saying that I was with him for the money, that he made a bunch of things. And then he was like, he was saying that I cheated on him with his guy friend. And I was like, bro, we weren't even dating, what the fuck? He was saying that he was gonna kill me and that guy, his friend. I was like, damn. Anyways, he said a lot of like really hurtful things. He said that I was like poor as shit, and I was like low-key hurt, because like, you know, I thought like he was like so cute and nice when we first met, and then after, when that happened, I was like wrong about you, this dude. But anyways, when he apologized, he said that he was sorry for the things that he had said, that he didn't mean any of that. But like, you know what, I was like mad because I was like, bro, you threatened my family. They have nothing to do with like any of these things. And he's like, I'm sorry, like I didn't mean that. And I was like, okay, I guess I forgive you, but if you ever do that again, I might kill you or something. Anyways, that's the story. And I'm not even done my makeup. Whatever. So yeah, guys, that's the story of the boys that wanted to kill me and my family. Like after I stopped showing up to the bar after that night, he found a different girl, and after that we never talked again. After that night we never talked again, and after that he got a different girls, and then now he's dating someone else. And we're friends, I guess we could say that we're good. Like, I go visit the bar every now and then because my cousin still works there, and we're fine. We got no issues, and yeah, I guess he was just drunk and heartbroken. I don't know, but like, you know what? I don't think I did anything wrong. Like, he was the one who kept bringing this up, and now I was just like fed up with it. I told him a bunch of times to stop that, or like, let's end it, because I don't like that shit. And I told him a bunch of times, like, yeah, I'm sorry that I slept with this guy, but like at the same time, me and him weren't dating. We were just talking, so I didn't, like, I told him, I'm sorry I did that. So yeah, that's the story of the guy who threatened to kill me, my family, my cousin's family, everyone. Because he keeps a gun in his office at work. So he said, and he showed it to me before. He's like, he would always joke about these things. This one time he was like, if you ever do something like that again, I just want to let you know that I have a gun in the office. And I was like, nice, let's go use it right now. Fuck. Anyways, that's the story, guys. I didn't finish my makeup, so I'm gonna finish it real quick, and I'll be back to say bye to you guys. Okay, well, you know what, guys? I fucked up this video, this story time, this makeup. Like, look at my lips. What the fuck? It's been a while since I've done my makeup, and this lipstick that I'm wearing right now is by Bretman. Look, it's this one right here, and it's so, like, it's so nice, but like, it's so messy. I've been trying to do it for like 30 minutes. It's a really nice color, but it's super messy to apply and take off and all. Like, whatever, my makeup is shit, okay? Anyways, I'm gonna leave this here because I'm gonna go take this face off because I messed everything up. The story time is fucked up too, but you know what? It's my first story time, and hopefully I get better, because I'm gonna keep telling more story times, but I gotta plan a little bit more because this story time is fucked up. It's not very well planned, and I messed it up. Anyways, I messed everything up today. But yeah, I'm gonna leave this video here. I'm gonna go do something else because I give up on life right now. This looks horrible. I wanna wear this lipstick, but I'm gonna go take it off and like do it again. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, guys. Yeah, we'll see you in the next video because hopefully it's not as messy. And yeah, bye.